Stay connected.
Welcome to the dawn.
Shut it down on the ones and twos.
Smallbusinessfunds.com. Find the right loan for your business. Need a startup loan of $1,000 to $10,000? Are you an entrepreneur with 6 months in operation looking for capital to launch? Smallbusinessfunds.com. Or an existing business with more than 6 months in need of quick loan in order to apply growth to your business? Smallbusinessfunds.com. SBF also assists established businesses with less than 100 employees. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com. Visit us at smallbusinessfundz.com. Not too sure which loan's right for you? Call today and schedule a free consultation. There's no cost to apply. 678-791-2312. That's 678-791-2312. Smallbusinessfunds.com. Our courteous and experienced staff will guide you through each step of the loan process. So contact us today. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com. Reality Spice. Get ready for no holds barred conversation on reality and how it bites. This show is not for the faint of heart. Let's get rid of the rhetoric and non-truths and start talking for real with topics such as: are you black or are you African American? Police brutality, their fault or ours? Is money really the root to all evil?
LPMR Talk Radio. Stay connected. Tell us what's on your mind. Tweet us at RealityBite121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com. Stay mobile 646-580-6603. Post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio. Stay connected.
Reality Bites. Reality Bites. Reality Bites. Bites.
Let the world know who you are.
Yo, this is your boy, AK The Dream. You're now tuned in to LPMR.207.
Yo, it's your boy Jay the Messenger, man. Vibing out like always, man. Hey, keep on vibing, you know what I'm saying? The LIFO, you know, it's LPMR.207, man.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Infamous.
And I'm that man, Jimmy B. And we are them KMF boys.
Coming to you straight out of Pittsburgh.
Here to bring you the exclusive preview on the things we do
and the life we live.
You are now listening to Lost Pyramid Radio.
Hey, LIFO and the whole crew. Hi, everybody that's listening in. Make sure you guys stay locked in. It's your girl, Lady
Yo, what it is? It's your boy TWE, aka T-Dub. Coming to you straight out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. Giving a big shout out to my homie, MrLIFO. You are now tuned in to LPMR 207. Let's get it.
Stay connected.
Welcome to the dawn.
Shut it down on the ones and twos.
LPMR Talk Radio.
Reality Bites.
He just doesn't understand us. Maybe that's why he calls communities like the one where I was raised hell. Because he can't see all of the decent, hard-working folks like my parents who took those extra shifts, paid their bills on time, folks who are raising amazing families, sending kids to college. Maybe he doesn't believe that people like us really exist. Because he does not see our shared humanity. We all know better. We all know better. We all understand that an attack on any one of us is an attack on all of us.
Are you ready? I said, are you
ready?
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you.
To Reality Bites. Well, we're back at it again. Thank you very much for joining me here on Reality Bites. LPMR Talk Radio. Well, we're in the thick of things, as you can see, here in America, within a Donald Trump presidency. Please remember, hashtag Donald Trump's not my president. Well, black, brown, yellow, maybe even green and purple people. You just saw what a white lashing looks and feels like. So now we need to talk about what we can do to level the playing fields, to get things back to right order. White people once again took the system of supremacy and utilized it to do what they did a couple years back. Some of you might not be old enough to remember, but this same occurrence happened once before with the Gore-Bush presidency. But when you don't understand two major things, it's all about money, which is economics, and it's all about a system of supremacy, which you are watching. And if you're not, you should be tuning in because it does affect your daily life. So right here on Reality Bites, what we have dedicated ourselves to doing is having an open forum. We want people to call in, write in, Twitter in your feelings, be a part of the show, and let's talk about the two major beasts that we must conquer within the next 4 years to make things better for all people in America, which is, again, economics and understanding that there is truly a system of supremacy. Just like there's a school system, there's a school system of supremacy. It's taught. People are born into it. That's why so many urban and black people and even white people pretend to not understand it, because they live by it. It's comfortable to them. That's what you just saw with this presidency. It was uncomfortable for many people, including black people, to have a black president. So to ensure that the comfort of the white man that covets America continues, they white-lashed your black asses and put the most ridiculous person you could ever think of to become a president of one of the world's biggest and, yes, best countries in the world. So coming up next at you is we're going to plug into a Hot 97 interview with Ebro in the Morning and his crew as they interviewed Tariq Nasheem, the executive producer of Hidden Colors, on exactly what we're talking about, the system of supremacy. See, information doesn't always have to be led through one person. We're plugging into a conversation that was already had because I listened to the conversation. It was a very general but broad conversation on what a lot of people in America need to understand about supremacy. White people as well as black people. And very many black people need to understand what it is. So it's not about me saying the same words as what they said. We're going to give you the information so you can listen to it for yourself. And we're going to continue to expound on this conversation for the weeks and months ahead so we can have a clearer thought at what it looks like. What do you personally have to do in order to adjust yourself? Because a lot of you have been born into it. You scream black power, but you run into McDonald's, you run into Burger King, you buy Jordans, you support Fox 5 with Empire. You say one thing, but you're so deep in the system that you don't even know it. So we're plugging into this next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Black Power. Reality.
You are you ready? I said, are you ready?
Smallbusinessfunds.com. Find the right loan for your business. Need a startup loan of $1,000 to $10,000? Are you an entrepreneur with 6 months in operation looking for capital to launch? Smallbusinessfunds.com. Or an existing business with more than 6 months in need of quick loan in order to apply growth to your business? Smallbusinessfunds.com. SBF also assists established businesses with less than 100 employees. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com. Visit us at smallbusinessfunds.com. Not too sure which loan's right for you? Call today and schedule a free consultation. There's no cost to apply. 678-791-2312. That's 678-791-2312. Smallbusinessfunds.com. Our courteous and experienced staff will guide you through each step of the loan process. So contact us today. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com.
Stay connected.
LPMR, where India's music shines.
Welcome to the Dawn.
Shut it down on the ones and twos.
Bites. Before we actually move on with the interview with Ebro in the morning and Tariq Nasheed, we'll run over a couple of things right here on LPMR Radio. LPMR Radio, we do independent music along with the music that you already know and love. We also now started talk radio in order to open up the playing fields. One of the reasons why me, Danilo Ignacio, got involved with media was centrally because everything that we get, and for those that say they don't listen to radio, they don't look at TV, well, everybody else is doing it, so you're still getting the same information. Here in America, we have one source of information. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if it calls itself ABC, NBC, CBS, no matter what it calls itself, the foe, the friend, whichever one it is. It's all run by the same exact 1%ers, the same people that we're talking about and getting involved in a conversation with Ebro in a few minutes, which is part of the system of supremacy. So everything that you watch on TV and live by is still given to you by the same people that are trying to destroy you. That's why we are doing what we're doing, giving a place that we can have a platform to talk. Now, even Hot 97 is talking about supremacy, but they're talking about it for views. We're talking about it because we need to start a coalition amongst ourselves in order to do things to make things better for us in this country. Not everything is about marching. We can mobilize in many different ways, but first we got to get our minds right. First, we've got to understand what we're mobilizing for. A lot of people don't even understand what white supremacy is and how deep it runs in America. So let's start there. Tweet us at RealityBytes121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com or stay mobile 646-580-6603. And also post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Drop that.
So remember, this is an open forum. Reality Bites Radio is for everyone that's listening that has concerns about anything, everything that's going on in America. We want you to shoot us an email and let us know what you'd like a topic to be, or to invite yourself on the show so you can speak to the people right here live on the air. Email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com.
T-Bro in the morning, Laura Stiles, Rosenberg, and I guess a Twitter friend of mine, Tariq Nasheed on the radio right now. T-Bro in the morning. Tariq, you are very vocal on social. I'm going to get right to it.
Absolutely.
You are very vocal on social about the enlightenment of black people.
Absolutely.
Period. End of discussion, right?
Absolutely.
Everything that happens in politics, everything that happens in music, everything that happens in sports, you have a very entertaining and interesting take on it. And sometimes you make me laugh. Yeah. Like, you're very, very aware. I wanted to jump right in with you at the top of 2017 this year. I want to talk about Trump.
Yeah.
Because leading up to Trump's, win, right?
Yeah.
I think you were honest about your support of Bernie.
Yeah.
But you were still...
Yeah, I like Bernie, but Bernie was still kind of tiptoeing on black issues to me, and there's a benign neglect policy where politicians are not supposed to specifically talk about black issues. That was something that started in the early 70s, called the benign neglect program, where you're not supposed to promise black folks anything. You're supposed to use these vague terms like minority, people of color.
As to not offend the greater...
Really, to not make any promises to black people, because in the 1960s, there were a lot of riots in the late 60s, and they had something called the Kerner Commission. They were trying to figure out why these riots were going on. And people said, okay, well, it's white racism. They say, okay, there's always been white racism. What's the real reason now? Why are black people acting out now? They figured out that black people were getting all these promises made after 1965 with the Civil Rights Act.
Oh, that hope thing.
That
hope thing.
Yeah, with Dr. King and all that, and they were promising black people stuff, and they weren't going to give it to black people, and we started acting out. So they said, okay, we got a solution. Let's not give them nothing, and let's not even promise them anything. Let's act like they don't even exist. So this is why they started using terms like minority, people of color, and these are very vague terms. And they still use that today and act like it means black, but it doesn't.
Well, and that was also around the same time that black people were like, no, we're black.
Yes.
We're black. And our existence, while, yes, we acknowledge our roots in Africa, be clear, we are black people, and our experience in America is unlike any other African descendant on planet Earth.
Absolutely.
And it's very different.
A message has been received.
So this is where we're going to start the conversation that I need everybody to get involved in. This is a very poignant fact that we got to talk about right here and start the conversation that once it leaves here, it continues on in America. Because a lot of black people born in this country do not own the country that they're born in because they were told they are African American. We are black across the border, divide and conquer. That's what they try to do. Now, the experience of me being from Panama and residing in America is different from a black person born in America and raised in America, but we do identify because we're both black. Now, here's why we call the show Reality Bites, because, we're out there on social media, we're out there on the Facebook page, and also, if you want to continue this conversation, not only on LPMR, but this is a daily conversation that we have on our Urban Life channel page, that's our Facebook page, because this is a conversation that we have to continue. Because there's a lot of value with both sides understanding we've got to meet in the middle in order to have a stronger unity amongst black people. Now, let's start with the origins of life. And I'm saying reality. I don't care what you feel, what you've read, what you think. In the history books of America, it continues to state that the origin of life as we know it started in Africa. Not black life, all life. So every person that considers themselves a human being, origins started in Africa. Then everything was migrated out. Understanding that factor, to call black people born in America African American is to disenfranchise black people in America that own America, that were born in America, to believe that you come from somewhere else. Because when I first got into the school system of America, that was something that the white people like to throw up in the air. About get on a boat and go back to Africa, go back where, anytime when you get into them little arguments, that's what they said. But the black people that were born here, they came here when you were here. All them lies about Christopher Columbus, but we'll get into that later on. So I've set the stage for the foundation of the conversation, and I want you to join us. I want to know your viewpoint on black or African American. What are you? It's a very valid point and a very valid situation that we have to talk about, because, see, from the aspect of a lot of people on the outside looking in, African American is black people that were born here, that were raised in the projects, that sell drugs. Look, it hurts right now to hear this, but this is what it is. And we've got to deal with the fact. It's the baby mama drama. It's the rags to riches hip hop story. And that's not what being African American should be about, just like that's not what black is about. So we've got to expound on this conversation. So yes, we had to take the pause for the cause. We're going to punch back into the conversation with Tariq Nasheed and E. Burrow, because there's a lot of information there that you need to listen to. And you know, one of the pitiful parts about having to punch back in is that a lot of people don't know. So when I make the same kind of statements and the things that we talk about, people are like, well, who the hell are you? But now you have two people that are on the platform talking about it, and that's why we're using it here on Reality Bites. Because one thing about being human is, things don't reverberate the way they should in life, in accordance to the way you hear them and the way you feel them. Many people will listen to this and go, yeah, we understand. Yeah, but how do we move forward in this? How do we continue to give out this information to our people so we can make a better day for us as black people in America? Stay tuned. This is Reality Bites. Once again, my name is Danilo Ignacio. Who that? Danilo Ignacio. Been in the industry for many years, the entertainment industry, doing various different things from choreography to stage management. And you start to learn what the world is about through the eyes of being an entertainer. That's how we started the company, the Media Handlers Group, because again, we have to have other systems of information. If you keep getting one thing from one source, you can't really get a true full story or a true full look at the value of something. You know, how many of us moved out of our mother's and our parents' house and noticed the difference between the way we now live and the way they lived? Because we were able to open ourselves up to something new. So that's what we're doing here, the Media Handlers Group. It's all about giving out information, visual information, audio information in a different way, in a black way, in a real way. Reality Bites. We'll be right back.
LPMR Talk Radio.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
smallbusinessfunds.com. Find the right loan for your business. Need a startup loan of $1,000 to $10,000? Are you an entrepreneur with 6 months in operation looking for capital to launch? smallbusinessfunds.com. Or an existing business with more than 6 months in need of quick loan in order to apply growth to your business? smallbusinessfunds.com. SBF also assists established businesses with less than 100 employees. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com. Visit us at smallbusinessfunds.com. Not too sure which loan's right for you? Call today and schedule a free consultation. There's no cost to apply. 678-791-2312. That's 678-791-2312. Smallbusinessfunds.com. Our courteous and experienced staff will guide you through each step of the loan process. So contact us today. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com. Reality.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Drop that.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you.
Tuned into Reality Bites. Sorry I kept you. Well, we're back in it and we're in the thick of it right now. We're going to go back into more conversation with Ebro and Tariq Nasheed in regards to mental slavery, otherwise known as supremacy in America. So remember, join the conversation. It's not just a black thing. It's not only a white thing. It's the right thing to do. So I'll give you the rundown of how this works. We air every Sunday at 10 p.m. So when you send in your voice messages, when you send in your emails, all that good stuff that you're going to send us, that's when it will air. If you would like to be on the show, you'll call that number and we'll schedule a live date for us to talk publicly to the world about the issues that we all have in America. That's what it's about. Stay tuned.
LPMR Talk Radio. Stay connected. Tell us what's on your mind. Twitter's at RealityBite121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com. Stay mobile 646-580-6603. Post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio. Stay connected.
Reality Bites. Reality Bites.
Trump, what is your opinion of him?
Well, Trump is basically...
Fan? No.
Trump is a reflection of the white supremacist mindset that's prevalent in our country. We got to understand that he's not even qualified to be a manager at Starbucks. They made that man a president of the United States after all the vile things that he said because he stuck to a code of white supremacy. He spoke in these different little vague codes that all the low-level white supremacists could understand. And that's all that matters. The code is the leadership to them.
Do you believe that all supporters of Trump are racist?
No, but I suspect that they could be. See,
well,
I suspect that they could be. I'm not saying that they are, because I always say all white people are not white supremacists at all. All white people are not racist. But when I talk to a white person and they say something that's raising my antennas, I might suspect that they could be a white supremacist. So I'm going to be on alert.
Most white supremacists, what percentage of white supremacists do you feel are aware of their white supremacy, and how many are just part of something that's already existed?
Well, the thing is, we have white supremacists and you have white extremists. You see, like the Dylan Roofs and all of these people, these are the extremists who are very open about their white supremacist views. So they go out and join organizations like the Skinheads, the Klan, and all that. But the average white supremacist could be a soccer mom who gets on a jury, sees that a black guy didn't commit a crime, but she's going to go along and make him guilty anyway. That's a white supremacist too.
And is there someone one notch down from that who wouldn't even do that, right? Like they would go to a trial and they would wait for the information. But still, the way they make decisions in their life, in terms of maybe it's more subconscious, friends or schools they choose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's almost slightly more benign, but it's real and it adds up.
Yeah, there's some people who deeply believe that they're not white supremacists, but they practice white supremacy because it's so normal. You know, there are people who say, I got a black friend, but the black guy who's their friend is a conservative who hates other black people. You know what I'm saying? So you're still a white supremacist if you're propping up this black person who's hating on other black people. Of course.
A message has been received.
Yes, sir. So here we go again. We're punching back in because here goes another point in fact that was just said that we need to expound on. This needs to be a part of next week's conversation. I want you to call in and give us your viewpoints. You know, very many people that were born in America don't understand what systematic racism is, and that includes black people that were born in America. I have a lot of my friends that sometimes think that we're laying it on too thick, and you know, us conscious people are racist ourselves, which just by the definition we couldn't be, because we don't have the avenue to stop another race from doing things for their race, which is the basis to what racism is, which is the basis to what supremacy in America is. So we're going to punch back into what he says, and then we're going to come back out of it one more time so that you can get the opportunity next week to voice your opinion.
Yeah, there's some people who deeply believe that they're not white supremacists, but they practice white supremacy because it's so normal.
Now, when you hear him say that, a lot of people then want to just take it upon themselves to think that we're talking about white people. No, but he's talking about our own African American, our own black people born in America known as African American. Now, it's very funny when I say that, because a lot of people get upset online when I write my post. And everyone can join us on Urban Life channel on the Facebook page to continue this conversation until next Sunday at 10 p.m. But a lot of people get soured. Even some of my friends that said, well, Danilo, because you always say you African Americans. I make that statement for more than one reason. One is because, first of all, because that is what the white system has called you, and that's what you have assumed to be. It's all over the television. It's all over the radio. When the first black president of America was installed into office, they said African American, which is fine, but really not, because the definition of African American is a black person born in America. I, like so many other black people, was not born in America. So by right of law, we are not African American. Part 2. Again, like I said earlier in my conversation, a lot of black people born in America don't understand this. But when other people that come from other countries, because of what white media has done, said, and lied about black people in America, the first thing you think of is people that come from the projects, people that sell drugs, loud, disrespectful, don't care about nothing, lazy, because this is what has been installed into the white system that now reverberates itself through all people that come into America, and consistently the white American, because the first time you argue with anybody white, these are the first things they throw up about being black, or, excuse my French, about being African American. Because many white people know, I have friends of mine when they've said the African American thing and I tell them, no, I'm black. They get it. They understand exactly what I mean. So we now have to start bringing this conversation out into the open, because it's something that's been festering in America when it comes to Jamaicans and Panamanians and even Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and all these other black races that you disrespect in a sense, because you feel that by right of the land that we should just assume the position. And that's not going to happen. There's times when I've been out and certain things that I've seen my brothers and sisters born in this country do, and I make the statement, one of my African-American brothers or sisters going to learn, and then someone else will say, well, you African-American too? No, I'm not. We have to stop being disrespectful to each other so we can unite, because that's another conversation that we're going to have also about this thing called unite. What is uniting among millions of black people? People keep screaming we need a leader. What kind of leader? Name another race that has a leader. But we'll get back to that in a minute. We want to hear your viewpoints. We want to hear your comments. Even if you ain't like what I said, come at me. Let's talk about this. This is the only way things will change. Information is power. Conversation gives you the avenue that we can speak about things, come to a middle zone so we can make things better for ourselves, so we can take our power and rule America the way it should be ruled. Black power. We'll be right back. You're now tuned into Reality Bites. Reality Bites. Stay connected and join the conversation at any time, or tell us what's on your mind. Tweet us at RealityBites121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com, or stay mobile 646-580-6603, and also post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio.
LPMR Talk Radio.
SmallBusinessFunds.com. Find the right loan for your business. Need a startup loan of $1,000 to $10,000? Are you an entrepreneur with 6 months in operation looking for capital to launch? SmallBusinessFunds.com. Or an existing business with more than 6 months in need of quick loan in order to apply growth to your business? SmallBusinessFunds.com. SBF also assists established businesses with less than 100 employees. SBF, SmallBusinessFunds.com. Visit us at SmallBusinessFundz.com. Not too sure which loan's right for you? Call today and schedule a free consultation. There's no cost to apply. 678-791-2312. That's 678-791-2312. SmallBusinessFunds.com. Our courteous and experienced staff will guide you through each each step of the loan process. So contact us today. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
LPMR Talk Radio. Stay connected. Tell us what's on your mind. Twitter's at RealityBite121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com. Stay mobile 646-580-6603. Post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio. Stay connected.
Reality Bites.
When I was 6, I had one thing on my mind. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball every chance I could. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
Let the world know who you are.
Yo, this your boy, AK The Dream. You're now tuned in to LPMR.207.
Yo, it's your boy Jay the Messenger, man. Vibing out like always, man. Hey, keep on vibing, you know what I'm saying? The LIFO, you know, it's LPMR.207, man.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Infamous.
And I'm that man, Jimmy B.
And we are them KMF boys. Coming to you straight out of Pittsburgh.
Here to bring you the exclusive preview on the things we do
and the life we live.
You are now listening to Lost Pyramid Radio.
Hey, LIFO and the whole crew. Hi, everybody that's listening in. Make sure you guys stay locked in. It's your girl, Lady P.
Yo, what it is? It's your boy TWE, aka T-Dub. Coming to you straight out of Goldsboro, North Carolina, giving a big shout out to my homie LIFO. You are now tuned in to LPMR 207. Let's get it.
Stay connected.
LPMR, where indie music shines.
Welcome to the dawn.
Shut it down on the ones and twos.
Reality Bites.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Drop that.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you.
Tuned into Time's Up. Sorry I kept you. Well, we're in the second half of Reality Bites, our premiere special, right here Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on LPMR. And you can get to LPMR.207 by dialing in, whether on your phone, on your tablet, or your computer. Go to mobileonlineradio.net. Yes, sir. So we're going to plug back in with Tariq Nasheed and Eber in the morning, Hot 97 East Coast. The conversation is about supremacy within the fabrics of America. Some people don't understand when we talk about the fabric, the inner fabric of America. What we're talking about is things like a white Jesus, white, blonde, blue-eyed Jesus. Let's talk about reality. Let's talk about how it bites. A white Jesus could never produce black people. That Jesus does not have the melanin. Now, don't start with the spirit and the God and let's talk 1 + 1 factor. Back to the beginning of the conversation that we had about the origins of life starting in Africa.
Yeah. Well, let's go a step further. If we're going to talk white supremacy in the fabric of America, we have to also discuss how we perceive lighter skin, lighter hair, straighter hair, lighter eyes, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, even my daughter's cartoons, right? They all, for some reason, have British accents. Peppa Pig, British accent. Another one of her favorites, British accent. Oh, yeah. Why so many British European accents?
Are they made in Great Britain?
Maybe, but why?
A lot of them are not. But
and as socially as Americans, which most people probably don't even understand, is for some reason we've been programmed, and you can speak to it if you would like, that because you have a British accent or a European accent, you are somehow more intelligent,
astute.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you notice they use a lot of British actors for these slave movies, like 12 Years a Slave and all that. They use a lot of European actors, black European actors. What's that brother, Chet Welle? What's his name? The guy who played. Yeah.
How do you say his name?
I can't pronounce the brother. He's a brilliant actor. But they use a lot of those brothers for these slave movies because over here, when they do slave movies, a lot of times when they get black actors from America on those plantations, black folks start freaking out because of those ancestral memories.
Because of PTSD.
Right. Like John Amos, who played on Good Times, when he was in Roots, he said that he had a breakdown. James Evans. He had a breakdown on the plantation during the filming. They had to console him. The brother who played Omar from The Wire. He was in, what's his name?
Michael K. Williams?
Yeah. Brilliant actor. He was on 12 Years a Slave. He had a breakdown on a plantation down there in Louisiana.
Well, even when Nate Parker came here and we talked about Birth of a Nation and visiting the plantations and dealing with Nat Turner's family. Yeah. Like, because that family still owns Nat Turner. They had to get permission from the slave owners to do that film and to have that story.
Yeah.
Right? So you still had to go get permission today in 2016.
Yes, indeed.
They said on those plantations when they would have to stop sometimes and pray, and it was real emotional.
It's very emotional. But going back to what you were talking about, children's images and all that, if you look at one of my favorite cartoons I got 4 children, and one of my favorite cartoons is Rio. The cartoon Rio.
The birds.
The birds. They love that. If you look at Rio, you notice all of the good characters are white, and all of the criminals in Rio are the Afro-Brazilians. They got dark skin, broad noses, and afros. So they start programming children at a very young age with cartoons, with colors. This is why when they used to do the doll test, they would get black children and tell them which doll is the ugly one, and they would pick the black doll because that's something that's programmed at a very young age. White supremacy dominates all areas of activity.
A message has been received.
Now we need to expound on that conversation because, again, a key point and factor to what is going on in this country with our black people. We have to be able to talk about it, see it for what it really is in order to get over it, get past it, to move on.
White supremacy dominates all areas of activity.
I'm going to need you to listen to that piece one more time again.
White supremacy dominates all areas of activity.
Can you hit it with him one more time again?
If you look at Rio, you notice all of the good characters are white, and all of the criminals in Rio are the Afro-Brazilians. They got dark skin, broad noses, and afros. So they start programming children at a very young age with cartoons, with colors. This is why when they used to do the doll test, they would get black children and tell them which doll is the ugly one, and they would pick the black doll because that's something that's programmed at a very young age. White supremacy dominates all areas of activity.
Because if you can't recognize it for what it is, it's part of the reason why so many black people born in this country look at the television and don't understand the relativeness to their own life. I remember the first time when we were out after Trayvon Martin passed away, and we walked up to young black brothers and asked them what they feel about what was going on with that whole situation. And it was baffling to hear another black young brother or even a brother my age say, who, that dude, Trayvon Martin? Not even identifying that that person is you. And what happens to him happens to you. In this country, supremacy runs so deep within our black people that they're blamed for things that they had no part of, so to speak. The reason why you don't own things in your own community is because you were never given that chance or that opportunity. I mean, growing up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, and going into a Chinese restaurant and talking to a Chinese person that barely knows English, but they own a storefront. How did their paperwork get done? How do they have the ability of owning a business in America, not understanding or knowing the language of the people in America, but the black people that were here that most likely built the streets where that building and the building is on, don't have a storefront in their own sub-community of a neighborhood? That's not something that you should be blamed for. And then to hear other black people or even the system of Americans say that everyone is treated fairly is utterly ridiculous. But under white supremacy, the laws, the rules, the regulations, when you live under it, yeah, you're totally right about it. This is what we want to talk about on the next installment, which is Sunday at 10 p.m. Join me, Danilo Ignacio. We will be punching back in once again to the conversation, but we got to take a pause for the cause. Reality Spice.
LPMR Talk Radio. Stay connected. Tell us what's on your mind. Twitter's at RealityBite121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com. Stay mobile 646-580-6603. Post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio. Stay connected.
Let the world know who you are.
Yo, this your boy, AK The Dream. You're now tuned in to LPMR.207.
Yo, it's your boy Jay the Messenger, man. Vibing out like always, man. Hey, keep on vibing, you know what I'm saying? The LIFO, you know, it's LPMR.207, man.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Infamous.
And I'm that man, Jimmy B.
And we are them KMF boys. Coming to you straight out of Pittsburgh.
Here to bring you the exclusive preview on the things we do
and the life we live.
You are now listening to Lost Pyramid Radio.
Hey, LIFO and the whole crew. Hi, everybody that's listening in. Make sure you guys stay locked in. It's your girl, Lady
Yo, what it is? It's your boy TWE, aka T-Dub. Coming to you straight out of Goldsboro, North Carolina, giving a big shout out to my homie LIFO. You are now tuned in to LPMR 207. Let's get it.
Stay connected.
Welcome to the dawn.
Shut it down on the ones and twos.
You are currently tuned into Reality Bites. My name is Danilo Ignacio, but right here on LPMR, you can get great independent music as well as the music that you already know and love simply by going to mobileonlineradio.net.
Yo, this your boy Chris Brown.
Hey, what's up? It's Katy Perry.
What's cracking, everybody? This your boy Neo, and you are officially in the mix with my dog, DJ
MrLIFO. Always stay in tune and in touch with us right here on LPMR 207, throwing down the hottest indies music every day from 6 to 9 p.m. live on Mondays. Indies Live. Tuesdays, Indies Ladies Night. Wednesdays, Instrumentals and Indies. Thursdays, all new mainstream indies. Fridays, Indies Club Vibes and Old School Mix. Saturdays, Independent Saturday. Throwing down the hottest indies music. And always remember to tune in on Sundays at 10 p.m. for Reality Bites Talk Radio. Right here on LPMR 207.
We're online 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station. The station with the best music.
Stay connected, stay locked in, bookmark us. We're here to stay. LPMR Radio. Go to mobileonlineradio.net.
LPMR Talk Radio.
You're now tuned into Reality Bites. Reality Bites.
What path are we on today without some dramatic change for dealing with white supremacy in America? Because I talked about it openly on the radio for months and months and months about what Donald Trump represents.
Yeah.
Right? Like him being of white skin, blonde hair, coming in after the name Barack Hussein Obama, Donald Trump, right? We've even openly talked about his relationship with Russia and how you're watching the world align. You have Europeans, America, Brexit happened, right?
Yeah.
So you have that happening. No one ever gets into it with Holland and Denmark and the Scandinavian countries, and then you line that right up with Europe, and that's kind of your planet power structure and control of money. And then below that is all the brown people.
Right.
And we're watching that line up right now today. Where does Tariq Nasheed, you're very vocal and open, where do you see this lining up over the next decade?
Well,
what is the path?
We have to look at the reason why there was a Brexit, and Donald Trump being elected is an extension of Brexit. Everything, you got to look at it in the context of white supremacy. When they start announcing that white people globally, the numbers are dwindling. White people are already a global minority. There's less than 10% of the population of the world are white. And when the white population starts to dwindle more, they have to create an apartheid state. Just like in South Africa, black people are the majority, so they have to rule a police state over there. So that's happening in Europe with Brexit. Brexit was all about getting the dark people out of here, using code words like Muslim. That's always been a code word for black people.
And then the Chancellor of Germany, the lady just said that the burqa, the strict Muslim garb would be banned wherever not necessary, but wherever appropriate. Like,
right.
You couldn't wear
because
that.
they were fighting because a lot of the women wanted to wear it on the beach, something like the beach. And they were trying to get rid of that. They were like, and the women were fighting for the right to wear the burqa when they wanted to.
Right.
That was a big deal.
Right. And again, Muslim, that's the code word for black people. That's always been a code word. Going back to the Moors, when the Moors and the Christians were fighting, the Muslim Moors, the white Christians, even in Cuba, they have a dish called Moors and Christians, which is black beans, white rice. So Moor has, and Muslim and black, all of that has been synonymous. Now, over here, they have to create an apartheid state because the white population is dwindling here. In about 17 states, more white people are dying than being born. So people in the dominant society, they go on alert. So when you have somebody like Trump spewing white supremacist rhetoric, people gravitate towards that really for a subconscious level of survival. And now they're trying to create a police state. This is why Trump is talking about stop and frisk, bringing that back nationwide. They're emphasizing on Chicago, talking about Chicago crime, which is a code word for all black people. We have to be very clear about that. When they talk about Chicago, they're talking about all of us. That's a metaphor. So they're trying to create an apartheid police state out here. So that's what we're going to have to look forward to, and we got to be prepared for that.
A message has been received.
See, the devil is in the detail. Isn't that what they say? And now that we understand partially of what a supremacy is and what it does, now we come to the coalition of why they do it. White people are losing their race. And see, I say things a little bit more flatly, like, again, join us online, the Urban Life channel, because we talk about this all day. Some of my black people get upset at me and call me all kind of names and have the audacity to think that I'm the one that's whitewashed. When so many of us don't even understand the main factor to what white supremacy is doing is trying to keep their race alive, trying to keep their race around. See, a black person, a melanated person can go anywhere in any continent and of any country and create their own. White people must create their own amongst their own selves. That's why here in America, we still got the Ku Klux Klan. Think about it. We can send bullets to Baghdad, but we can't stop the Klan from being in America. How redundant and ridiculous is that?
In Israel, the ruling faction are people who look white.
Yeah.
They are white Israel or white. They're white Jews who are descendants actually from Europe. But when you go to Israel, you see a lot of black and brown people who are the Israeli and the Jews and the Hebrews that are indigenous to that Mediterranean region.
And then, of course, African immigrants to Israel.
Ethiopians, et cetera, et cetera.
They get thrown under the bus. The Ethiopian Jews, they get thrown under the bus over there.
And then, of course, the Palestinians who are brown.
Right.
Yeah.
So, once again, to what I said earlier, and it's unfortunate that we have to put it this way for people to understand and potentially see that there is and I've been open about it, a war going on a international level between white and black and brown. And it's based on what you pointed out, which is the desire for survival of whiteness.
Right.
The color of skin, the color of hair, and these ideas.
That's the basis of racism. A sister named Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, rest in peace, she wrote a book called The ISIS Papers, breaking that down.
She just passed.
She just passed. And the basis of white supremacy, systematic racism, is the fear of genetic annihilation. It's the fear of being wiped out genetically. That's what the whole Holocaust was about. When you read the writings of Hitler, Hitler didn't care anything about nobody's religion. He said that in Mein Kampf. He said, I don't care about the Jews' religion. I just care that they're non-white over here. Jews weren't considered white.
The way
before.
they look, their physical traits will mess up the whiteness.
Right. They were like, they wanted a pure white race, which doesn't exist, by the way. But they wanted a pure white race, an ideology of a pure white race. And the Jewish people were considered non-white at the time. And also, we have to understand over here, Italian
there are Jewish people here who could still consider themselves non-white, and who black people will be like, no, you white, and they'll be like, well, like my mom used to say, I'm not white, I'm Jewish, but she was a red-headed Polish woman.
Yeah, and they play with that over here with like a lot of Hispanics are classified as white. That started after the 1960s. So a lot of people, the whiteness thing, they let it go, they bring it back for different groups. Italians weren't considered white until like the 1920s. Greeks weren't considered white till the 1940s. So they play around with these classifications and get a lot of people confused.
A message has been received.
And a part of that confusion is why so many mass amounts of black people born in America can't get over that hump of white supremacy because they live so deep in it that they don't see it. It's funny that even when we're online, I hear brothers out there being conscious and bringing up some great points. But then all of a sudden on their post, they'll now say Newport is having a special or McDonald's has coupons. Do you not understand that all those companies pay into the system of how we keep getting killed in the street? Has anyone ever asked the question, where does the police, the benevolent fund, get the billions of dollars to continue to pay people for murdering innocent people? Where is that money coming from? Coming from your Walmarts, your Kmarts, your Macy's, your Dillards, your Targets. I can go on and on. McDonald's, Burger King, because none of these corporations has stood up and say, stop killing our customers. This government would stop quickly. When we were back in the Bush era, Bush 2, the son, when he tried to deport a lot of people, what happened? He had to stop. When all the immigrants began to not go to work, not show up, that is billions of dollars a day that is being lost for these corporations. They called him and told him, stop it. He shut up, and we're back here again. We've got to wake up. We've got to understand the system, and we've got to stop playing games with our mental capacity. Stay tuned next week, Sunday. I want to hear from you. Reality Bites, because there's many vast black people in America that need to learn, that need to understand that there was a problem that was set forth against you, and you need to wake up and get yourselves from underneath white supremacy, white privilege, not only for yourself, but for your race and for your children's future. Stay tuned. This is Reality Bites. My name is Danilo Ignacio. We have a lot more coming up right here on LPMR Radio. Stay connected and join the conversation at any time, or tell us what's on your mind. Tweet us at RealityBites121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com, or stay mobile 646-580-6603, and also post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio.
LPMR Talk Radio.